We were so excited to be away from our hurricane hole of Igoumenitsa and back among the amazing Greek islands of the Ionian Sea. Our first stop was this group of islands off of the cute mainland town of Sivota. We believe this area, the collection of islands, together with the town, are referred to as Sivota Mortos. These are tremendous. There are so many anchorages to pick from and even more places to explore by dinghy. The snorkeling is terrific. The caves are amazing. The water is clean and refreshing, and the protection as you tuck your boat in between the islands is comforting. This is just the medicine that would help us ease back into a relaxed cruising lifestyle after the craziness of relocating for and then waiting out a nearby hurricane. Hi, I'm Karen, and my husband is Tom. Welcome to Life 4.0, where we share our experiences of living aboard Zero's, our 44-foot sailboat, while we travel together to new and exciting destinations. When Theo first met us, he picked on us because we floated around on noodles.
Okay.
And then he tried it and realized what...
There's a reason.
He realized how relaxing it can be. Make sure it's out so you can see it. There we go.
Do we need to play music? What do we have your national anthem available?
No, thank you.
No? Okay, go ahead. I'm videoing it, so we'll just.
No. With video.
Our longtime friend Pedro settled on board easily, and we quickly fell back into friendly banter, even though it had been many years since we had been together in person. He is a pleasant and very helpful guest, always eager to try whatever activity presents itself. And for this week, we were a foursome, with our now dear friend Theo from Paloma with us as well. Our first activity was a dinghy tour around all of these islands. Shallow over here. Okay. Oh wow, that one goes way back. Oh, it's stairs. That's something. Wow. Maybe, yeah. Wow, yes, there are. There's the opening. Yeah, that's why we didn't see it from this angle, because it has that big thing hanging over it. Huh, that's cool. After our dinghy and cave tour, it was time to go under the water's surface. It seems we had discovered the land of wonderful starfish. Ah, what colors! Tom was happy to see his favorite fish, the orange guys that hang out in the dark. And so many other schools of fish gracefully moving together through the currents and swells. And finally, back to the mother ships, tired and happy. The next day, we sailed over to the island of Paxos, specifically into the cove of Laka on the northeast point. We went ashore to explore and to find a place for dinner that evening. We hiked into the hills above the harbor. So the general thought was that these olive trees haven't been tended to, and they grew a lot taller. So they're not really cared for in terms of being able to harvest from them. Because the way you harvest from them is you end up sort of whacking the branches and knocking the ripe olives off. And these are all very tall. So we said there may be giraffe olive trees. And one question we had is, why do all of the olive trees around here have these holes in them? It doesn't seem to impact their growth. They're all sort of doing fine in terms of growing, but why is it that they all have these holes? Here's the lighthouse on the north coast of Paxos. This is all a protected area that is sort of taken control of by the Greek Navy. Huh. Pretty grounds. They even have, oh neat, they even have a stained glass window on their front door. This terracing could be incredibly old. Just goes on this hillside here, and it, who knows how old these trees and the terracing are. This is the netting that's used for harvesting here. Put it underneath the tree, and then they sort of whack the tree, shake it. So this is crazy. We've seen this twice this time. So there's a base of a olive tree, and partway up, probably because a bird pooped fig stuff.
No, it comes from inside.
There's a fig tree coming out of there. Oh, is it coming from the ground? This one is.
Inside, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So this is fig,
yeah.
and the surrounding is olive.
Right.
So something was in there and just
Right.
came out.
Fascinating. And look at this.
It's like one is grabbing the other. If you look in here, it's really like one is grabbing the other.
Right. A little symbiotic stuff going on. And then this one's interesting, where you have a very young olive tree coming out of this old guy. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so neat. Here's the one we saw where the fig tree is literally growing out of a hole in the olive tree. And we're back down to the harbor. If you know anything about the extraordinarily tall olive trees around here, or of their plentiful holes, we'd love to hear it. Please share your knowledge in the comments section of this video. So we're in Laka Harbor on the northeast of Paxos, and it's a great little harbor. It has lots of areas for dinghies to come in, and then this teeny little alcove over here that I'm not quite sure what they use it for, but they keep it sort of roped off. We enjoyed an amazing dinner ashore, then took in the harbor lights as we made our way back to our boats. The next morning, we motored to the west side of Paxos to see the geological wonders there.
a nice lunch stop here. I think this is called the Tripotos Arch. In there, can't really see it too well from this angle, but trust me, it's over there. And lots of little caves. And a windmill up there. More caves. It's pretty much the southern point of Paxos. It goes down there a little further, the very, very southern point. But we're doing a little excursion here today along the west coast of Paxos, stopping where we wish and swimming and keeping going, and this was a perfect place for a little lunch stop. And then we'll turn around and we'll head back to Sivota, where we left Theo's boat anchored there. We'll probably come back there. I suspect we'll probably spend the night there. We just decided to do it all in one boat, so we didn't have two boats to try to figure out how to anchor. And some of these places you anchor out along here are just like rock, which is where we just were. It's all boulders, big, car-sized boulders underneath us. So there's no way an anchor would dig into that. So you're just sort of relying upon calm conditions and the weight of your chain to hold you there. And usually you get somebody on board just to make sure everything's safe. So good sightseeing here along the west coast of Paxos. And in the distance over there is Antipaxos, the smaller version of Paxos, as the name implies. We hope to be there in a couple days and do that. We didn't do that last summer, so we want to really check that out. Looks like a couple of really nice anchorages over on Antipaxos. Hard to rival, though, the beauty of Paxos itself. Different rock layers. Tons of natural beauty here.
I never felt tomorrow closing in this fast. Oh, I guess time's in a rush.
Wow, they're huge fish. Did you see that fish jump out?
I see something jumping.
Oh my god. It almost looks like tuna jumping.
The time I've got, it is just enough to get by. Yeah, it is just enough to get.
Antipaxos is definitely smaller than its big brother, but it packs a beautiful punch. We're one of the boats anchored in the upper center of the view right there.
Paxos, and we have a real emergency out there on the boat. There is no wine left over. We just went to the grocery store earlier today and forgot to we got everything but the wine. So behind me is a taverna, and I'm hoping that they have some wine to sell us. I brought one bulk. Don't know how big it is. Probably a liter and a half. And a leftover bottle from last night. So we'll see what we end up with. Maybe. All right, well, it didn't quite work out as I had planned. Probably the only taverna we've been to in Greece that doesn't sell kind of a house basic wine. So I've got a bottle of Sauvignon Blanc at probably 3 times the price we would pay. That's okay. We have wine now for dinner. Maybe we'll find another option later.
If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to our channel and click on the bell to get notified of new videos. It was terrific to have this amazing week of cruising as we come towards the end of the summer sailing season. We didn't want to have to end the season on the heels of the Medicane. Now we'll be able to recall these beautiful waters throughout the cold winter months ahead.
It never pays in the end, but still I am here.
Join us next time as we explore Preveza and the intriguing Gulf of Amvrikikos, and the days before we haul Sea Rose out for her long winter's rest, and then make our way home to the United States. Thanks for watching.